Every once in a while, someone will call me and they'll say, I went over to church and the door is locked. And I'll say, well, you haven't walked far enough. Just keep walking and trying. You'll find one that's ajar. When is a door not a door? When it's ajar, right? Okay. So if you ever come to church, you can't get in, just keep walking, and I'll wager out of 22 doors, you'll be able to get in at least one. So this morning, the candle of witness, as it has been for the last 3 weeks, we light for the 2022 campaign, Rooted in Love, as we consider how to support our church with our financial pledges in the coming year. We heard from Elizabeth Pavlovsky, who spoke about what the church means to her as a young mother and her children and her family and how they are becoming rooted in love. We heard from Gina Ludlow, one of the community leaders, about how First Church stands as a beacon in the community, a place of light that shines out in the darkness because we are rooted in love, and where she has always encountered love when she comes here. We heard last week from a brand new member of the church, Amy Guerrero, who was called to First Church by the fact that we are that light in the community, and she finds here a place where she can bring her faith into practice. And today we're going to hear from Joy Nazzaro, who is a member in long standing of our congregation. 40-something years, I think now, Joy, right? Something like that. Joy has done just about every job there is to do in the church. And she is a very aptly named person. I always think no one was more appropriately named than Joy Nazzaro because of her great love that she shares with everybody and her ability to see the very best in people. And she, with Elizabeth Pavlovsky, has chaired this year's campaign. And I'm deeply grateful to you, Joy, for the vision and the expertise, the wisdom that you have brought to our efforts, and especially for your long-standing commitment to this congregation through thick and thin, and how you have seen us through standing as one of the true bellwethers of health and vitality. So thank you very much for leading us in this way. So Joy is going to offer a few words to us this morning about being rooted in love. You can take your mask right off at the pulpit there.
Well, good morning, everyone.
Good morning. You can take your mask off.
Oh, yep. Yeah. So you can hear me. As David said, you are familiar with the time reference of BCE, I'm sure. I refer to the time when I first came to First Church as BD, before David. Now I am dating myself, as he said, it's been over 40 years. Is that on? Okay. I came to First Church in 1982, and I was seeking a new spiritual home, having been recently divorced, and planned to stay in Fairfield. When I first came to First Church, I was wholeheartedly greeted by Dick Rush, the senior pastor at the time, and he actually asked me to come again. I thought, wow, this is a first. We had a long conversation, and obviously I came back. Not only did I come again, but I came often, and I joined First Church a year later. I attended worship services, participated in Bible studies, special programs such as Kerygma and Finding Your Gifts, as well as attended women's retreats. I also participated, as David said, on many boards and committees, and assisted refugees in our care, and at one time was a deacon. Currently, I am on the finance board, and as David mentioned, the resource development committee with Elizabeth, and an active member of our book group, which has been going on strong for over 25 years. First Church became more than a spiritual home for me. It is my second home. My new husband and I were married by Dick Rush in 1992, and although he was a devout Catholic, Stu embraced by Dick Rush and David and many members here alike, and he attended a number of events. Stu and I were later married in the Catholic Church as well. Over the years, I found many friendships here that to this day are very, very special and were a true balm when my husband passed away earlier this year. I hope that you will consider supporting First Church through a pledge And if you have, thank you very much. And if you're on the fence and have questions, please feel free to speak to me or Vanessa or David or Elizabeth, and I'm sure that we can answer any of your questions that you might have. Please know that First Church is truly a servant church to its members, the Fairfield community, and the world at large. Through the years, many in the community look to First Church on how we respond to events or issues concerning the greater good. After almost 383 years, we continue to be rooted in love and deeply rooted in this community. I hope that you will support First Church and help all of us continue to bloom. Please join us in our giving celebration outside immediately after worship today. We will have coffee and tea, apple cider donuts, and of course, cookies. Thank you very much. I appreciate your time. Thank you, David. Thank you, Vanessa.